this video, we're going to look at some pretty basic features of PowerPoint that some of you may not be aware of, and for others it may just be a review. But let's take a look at some basic things that you can do with a PowerPoint slide. So I've launched PowerPoint. I'm going to click on Blank Presentation, and it comes up with the title slide, but I'm not really interested in this material, so I'm going to just click and drag to select both of these text boxes, and I'm going to press the delete key on my keyboard to get rid of those. And instead what I'm going to do here is I'm going to click on the Insert menu, and I'm going to come over to Shapes, and I'm going to pick this square or rectangle, and I'm going to create a rectangle. But what I really want is a square. And so I could just fiddle with these, and I could try to see if I got that to be a perfect square, and that looks pretty good. But if I want to be absolutely sure, what I can do when I go to Insert, Shape, and pick Square, or Rectangle actually, I can hold down the Shift key on my keyboard, and that will create a perfect square. And I'll get rid of this one and just do this one. And you can see that I can click on it, hold down with my mouse, and I can move it anywhere on the screen. Now if I want to make more of these, I can copy and paste, do Control-C and Control-V on my keyboard, and if I want to try to line them up, you see I have these little grid lines that PowerPoint so conveniently adds for me. But an even easier way to do this is to click on an object and hold down the Control key on your keyboard and click and drag, and that will make an exact copy. And you can do this as many times as you need to, but you can see that these items are not exactly lined up. So a better way to do this, let's just get rid of these. Let me show you this trick. So you select your option, your object, and in this time, instead of just holding down the Control key, we're going to use the Control and Shift key at the same time. And what that will do is it will create an exact copy, but keep the lines where they're located on the screen exactly uniform. So just hold down the Shift key and the Control key at the same time. Let's say we wanted to duplicate all four of these, and it looks like we actually made one too many. So what we'll do is we'll select them once again, Shift, Control, and then down, and then I have another set of four that are in the exact same position as the row on the top. And if I want to move them around, I can move them around one at a time, or two at a time, or four at a time. And again, these little grid lines that PowerPoint shows on the screen, displays on the screen, can be very helpful in that regard. Now, one more thing that I can do with these shapes that is kind of cool is I can insert text inside each one, and I can then just type my text here. But I can do the exact same thing that I did before. I can hold down the Shift and Control key, and at the same time I can create a duplicate of this text. And this time I can go down here, and then over to the left, and then over to the left again, and then one final time. And now I have text labels that look the same. So one last thing you can do is, instead of going in, even though you have to go in and add what text you want to be displayed here, let's just say that I want it to be a little larger. I can select them all at the same time and increase the font size and maybe make them centered, and then that would save me some time. So let's create one more slide over here and look at one other way that we can use these kinds of tools. And I'm going to just delete that information from the screen because I don't really need it. So I'm going to go back to the Insert Shapes menu, and this time I'm going to pick this oval tool, and I can create an oval But again, because what I want is a circle, I'm going to hold down the Shift key. Let's go back and select it one more time just to make sure that it's still selected. Oval, Shift key on the keyboard, and now I get a perfect circle. And then when I hold down the Shift and Control key, I can create my second circle, and I think some of you probably know where I'm heading with this. And then the third time, I'm just going to hold down the Control key to make the duplicate and then move it around. So this is how I can create a Venn diagram, and I need to add some transparency here. And so the easiest way to do that, let's see if I can do it all at once. I'll select all three circles and then go to Format Object, go over to Fill, look at the transparency here, change that to about maybe 20, 25, 26%. That's good. Done with that. And now, the only other thing I might want to think about doing is changing the color here. So let's change these colors. I'll keep the bottom one blue and make this one, I'll just go with green there. And now, the same thing, I can go back, insert a text box, and have my first label here. And hold down the Control key and the Shift key to move that one over there, and then hold down just the Control key because I don't want to constrain the direction. I just want to make another copy. Well, something. So if you don't get it right the first time, that's okay. You can just try again. And there we go. And those grid lines help me keep everything in the right place. So I seem to have lost one. Let's try it one more time. Control and drag. And there's my third label. And again, I can increase the size and the style. And that's an easy way to create a Venn diagram using the Shapes tool in PowerPoint and all the little keyboard shortcuts. So go out and practice this and see what you can come up with on your own.